Welcome, everyone. You taking panorama shots over there, panning the crowd.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to Giant Bomb's panel for PAX South 2015, San Antonio style. That's actually probably a better name than whatever it was I put on the form when I submitted the panel. I don't remember.
Do you remember what you put on there?
Exploratory mission?
Sure, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
It was the day that the panel submissions were due, and I was like, oh shit, we need to do that. And I go type this.
Accurate.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the four of us are here.
Last panel titles have been.
Yes, when the guy showed up, was that in Boston? When the guy showed up because we mentioned Taiwan. Mentioned Taipei in our panel description, and he said, like, this isn't really about Taiwan, is it? After sitting there for like a full hour and a half. That was sort of a bummer. My name is Jeff Gerstmann. Hello. Hi. And some of my colleagues have decided to join me here in beautiful, windy-ass Texas. Drew Scanlon is here. How are things, Drew? How are things?
They're great. Special thanks to GameSpot's own Andy Bauman in the back.
Yeah.
And up front we have Danny O'Dwyer on the camera.
Yeah.
Both of these men responsible for one of my favorite shows on the internet, The Point. And if you don't watch The Point, you're dead to me.
If you're missing the point, then you're missing the point.
Ooh.
You can use that.
Ooh.
Put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Alex Navarro is here.
Hi. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yep. Caught him off guard here. There we go.
So I'm trying to figure out, like, there are Japanese pro wrestlers who wear the mask at all times. Like, there are guys who've gone into Japanese government still wearing the mask. I'm trying to figure out, is that something I should do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have I already fucked this up because you already know what I look like?
Rey Mysterio was unmasked for a while in WCW.
When Ray put the mask back on, I think all the rules were gone forever.
Okay,
So.
all right. Well, I'm just going to leave it on then.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, leave it on. Dan Reichert down there wearing his mask.
Hey, folks. Hi.
I want to thank the guy who immediately, when I got on the show floor, gave me a bottle of Absolute Texas. And so all day I've been walking around with cucumber and Serrano chili vodka. So thank you, whoever that guy is. He's probably here.
The two things I think of most when I think of Texas, cucumbers and Serrano chilies.
Mm-hmm.
It was not 5 minutes that we were on the floor and you had that bottle of vodka in your hand.
Yeah.
And he handed it to us and said, now this is some Texas stuff. And I was like, oh, it's going to be some weird, like, local brand. No, it's Absolute Texas.
It weirdly mixes well with Diet Mountain Dew. It's pretty good.
I bet, yeah.
There's a cowboy boot and it's kicking nothing, but it's kicking something.
It looks like it's kicking lightning.
It's kicking your ass.
Those are shit kickers.
Why don't we pass some of the lightning this way?
The lightning?
Yeah.
Is that a thing people
It has
say?
lightning bolts on it or stars or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want some Mountain Dew?
I think he's got bigger cups down there.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
This is going to be a full hour of us trying to negotiate this bottle of vodka, passing it back and forth. So, I mean, if you guys want to hang out, that's cool. Yeah, so this is the first time PAX has come to Texas, a brand new show. I remember I went to the first PAX in Boston, and it was. No, we didn't do a panel the first PAX East. I went out there alone and was on someone else's panel that first time. This time decided we could bring some people out and kind of check it out. That's kind of been the vibe I've been getting, talking to a lot of the different publishers and stuff like that. There's a lot of like kind of tentative like PAX in January, and then there's another PAX in March. I don't know. So it's a lot of cases where you got like one or two people from a company just kind of walking around going like, "This looks like PAX." I mean, we have games we could have brought. I don't know. So I bet that similar to how Boston was. It seems like that's the sort of thing where it grows and grows and grows. It's like a virus. I'm like a virus. Those guys are sitting down over there. Okay, yeah. Hey, hi. Hi, guys. All right, they're seated now. So, yeah, I mean, it's been knocking around the show floor and seeing some stuff here and there, but I haven't actually played anything because I was on Pat Bear's panel earlier today. Pat here. Hello.
404 in it?
404 in it. That was a good time. It was right here in this very space. Maybe some of you were there. It was yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so that was a good time, and now then it was like, okay, we need to like go away from here for a little bit, and then it was like, oh, we barely have time. We got back here. So, yeah, I haven't really walked around too much. Saw Dave Lang's dumbass. Where he's like the center of the floor, the Iron Galaxy, which didn't even bring Dive Kick. Like, apparently they have other games. It's like, yeah, sure you do. But I don't know. They've got some kiosks over there, but he's not here, so fuck him. Yeah. Drew, how's the show been for you so far? We split up a bit. Seemed like everybody kind of made their way around.
Yeah. PAX is great to just walk around.
Yeah.
And it's one of the shows that I can do so just without a camera bag because there's often not a lot of news happening.
Right.
But still, I get to play games, and it's great.
Yeah.
I love going to the tabletop area because I feel like video of tabletop games, people do it, but it's hard. You have to invest a lot more watching time to get a real sense of it.
Right. The pace of it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when there's a place like this that you can just go and like look at people playing it, like it's a lot easier that way. So I sat down and I played a game of The Downfall of Pompeii.
Okay.
With
you can woo that. That's okay.
Where are my game buddies? Yeah. Hey fellas. Good game. I lost. That was fun.
Why did board games get like that? Why is everything so fucking serious? It's the downfall of Pompeii and Arkham Horror and like I remember like cool like Yahtzee, fucking Boggle. Sorry. Guess Candyland, motherfucker.
I don't know.
Buckle up, bitch! It's Chutes and Ladders. Like that. Yeah. That's when that is my board game wheelhouse. So like the whole like board games for adults thing, like it's hard for me to pay attention to it because it's always like I just want to roll some dice. Show me some cards.
Yeah, this one was pretty complicated.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I liked it. I also saw another game called Bring Your Own Book. Yeah. You see that? Yeah? That game is cool. So it's basically like, it's an apples to apples or a Cards Against Humanity style thing where you get a card that has to be satisfied by, instead of the white cards,
sure.
You have to find a passage in a book that you have brought that satisfies it.
Do you only bring one book?
You bring one book, but then every round you rotate books.
Okay.
Like clockwise, so you'll get somebody else's book. So like it's like a quote in an action movie will be the black card, and then you will rifle through your book, and the first person to find, like, all right, I've got one. Then they start a timer, and everybody else has 30 seconds to find another one.
Oh, okay.
So you find some passage that like. And then the fun part is you get to read out your passage and you get to sell it.
Yeah.
So like there's so many movie quotes, Dan, popping into my mind.
Let's go with The Rock.
Okay. A body can do that? Vaporize?
Yeah.
I would win in this case.
See, that seems like a really, I guess rotating books solves the problem of like you writing your own book that satisfies every single answer. Because then I could just write my own book and just be like, I was only borrowing your Humvee.
Yeah.
Like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. But then like when you're faced with a foreign book you know nothing about, and then you're like, you have a limited time to find something that sounds tricky.
Or like a really old one. Sometimes it'd be tough to find,
Yeah.
depending on what the card is.
We all bring the Bible.
And one copy of Air Force Gator.
Bring your own good book. That's what I call it. Actually, I bet if they made like Bible-themed cards for that and that specifically be used with Bible, I bet it would clean the fuck up.
Yeah.
They would sell some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also played some video games.
Okay.
Which is another
all right.
rare
What a
thing for me to
novel
do
concept.
at one of these conventions. I played, Video Ball.
Yeah, video ball.
Video ball?
Yeah, video ball.
Yeah.
Video ball.
Video ball.
Describe video ball to me. I've seen a lot of video ball. I've yet to play video ball.
So it's multiplayer, top-down asteroids. Like you control little ships and you move them around and you shoot pellets, but then you're trying to knock spheres into goals
Okay.
by shooting pellets. And you can charge up your pellet. You can also, if you hold past the charge point, you can create a defensive block that has to be shot. So you can, protect your goal that way.
Okay. Yeah.
It's frenetic and zany and pretty fun.
It seemed kind of like air hockey meets Windjammers almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it. We did 2-on-2.
Yeah, we did 2-on-2 and.
Yep. I liked it.
Yeah, cool. I definitely want to see that. It seems like it's been like evading me at different shows that
Pretty close to Dave Lang though, so.
Yeah, you have to kind of get near
Sneak up.
Dave Lang to see it.
Yeah.
And that's,
Wear a mask. He won't recognize you.
yeah.
Capsule Force, which is also over there.
Okay.
Similar, you know what? They equated it. Actually, I think Dave Lang equated it to Nidhogg.
Of course he would.
Yeah.
It's like this other popular game. You're gonna love it.
It's basically four people spawn on the screen, and there are two platforms that are on rails, and depending on who jumps on it, it goes in one direction. So if you jump on it, you're trying to jump on it and get it all the way to your side. At which point you jump off and grab the gem that means you win.
Of course.
And then the other people are trying to kill you. You have guns and you shoot the other people. Or you can hold it for a laser beam that I think cuts through stuff. And so they're trying to kill you and hop back on the same cart and then go the other way.
And so is it like, you talk about like jumping on this platform, is it all like, running on a log kind of thing?
No.
Okay.
In fact, it actually makes it tough because when you get on there, you have to use your joystick to aim to shoot.
Oh, yeah.
But aiming also moves you, so you can't. It's tough to aim when you're on there.
Right.
But I think if you hold charge, then you stop moving. Anyway, so that is also very frenetic and out of control.
See, but that's the thing. There was the other game that Pat mentioned has been all Super Magic Touchdown Party, 97. Slam Dunk Touchdown, Super Slam Dunk Touchdown.
The like box art for that game is wonderful.
Really?
It is an American football player going up to dunk a soccer ball.
Okay.
And going up for a block is a baseball player with a mitt.
This is touching on a lot of my personal interests.
Yeah, that sounds pretty amazing. I'm really curious to see like how long that this kind of wave lasts. Like there's definitely like this whole, you have IDARB coming out pretty soon here, or I mean actually it's kind of out if you follow Mike Micah on Twitter. It seems like it's just Code City over there.
Yeah.
But the kind of indie esports, minimalist esports, the competitive local competitive sports esports thing genre. That's the full name.
Played another similar game to that. It's 8-player.
Okay.
And you spawn. It's top down, kind of like a Bomberman sort of view. I think there's a bunch of different game modes. It's called Night Squad. And the game mode we were playing was there's a Holy Grail in the middle, and you're working your way through your maze from your corner. If you run into anybody else, you can hit them with your sword or pick up like a bow and arrow or a crossbow, and then kill them with that, and then just get it and bring it back to your corner. Pretty simple, pretty fun.
Yeah. That's cool. I just wonder like what the real appetite out there is for like this number of those types of games. Like at what point does that like whole thing become so competitive that people are just like putting them out and they're just bombing because people are like, well that's cool, but I've already got 4 other games like it, like that we already play, so whatever.
Yeah.
I just wonder.
I just wonder what college dorm rooms are like these days for games like this.
GoldenEye. It's still GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Mario
it's a fucking
Kart
tragedy.
64.
It's a goddamn tragedy. Okay. Alex, how about you? What's good?
What's not good is this mask anymore. I'm sorry. This thing is really hot. It's very,
sweaty?
very hot. Yeah. If I'm not performing, I don't need to wear that thing. That's fine.
Put that down there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You've got mask hair now.
I do. It's okay. I don't know. I've been with you pretty much the entire day, and so we walked the floor. We saw some stuff.
You
here
were
and
there, right? Yeah.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that now. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not really into video games so much as I'm into this Big Hunk now that someone brought over here. This is pretty delicious.
Yes.
Did you read the recipes on the back? I guess
No,
you
I
call
didn't.
them recipes.
They're
For a soft, chewy treat, Place your big hunk in the microwave.
Sounds pretty good.
Heat for approximately.
My big hunk has too much metal in it to put in the microwave.
Carefully eat your super soft, chewy snack.
Yep.
Well, if anyone else has any candy wrappers for us to read, we're going to fill the rest of the time with that. Otherwise, let's wrap it up, I guess.
Big hunk, because fuck your fillings. This is not chewy or soft at all.
It says you're supposed to smack it against a hard surface. It says
Yeah,
that, like
you crack it,
directions
it's
on this
nougat.
thing.
You fucking smack that thing and
Yeah, that seems better.
yeah.
It's gonna sound great on the recording.
I don't.
Yeah.
This isn't. It doesn't do anything.
And
This
the
isn't doing
Mixler.
anything.
Your iPad is right there.
Yeah. No, the screen on this iPad's
Sorry.
already
Sorry.
cracked, so I can't bash the. I cannot bash that off of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was mostly just hanging out with you guys today, walking the
Yeah,
floor,
yeah.
checking
You're
it
here
out.
today, and then you and Drew are actually flying out tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm driving out.
What?
Yeah. I'm driving to Austin.
Okay. All right. Have you been to Austin?
Never been. I've never been to Texas.
It's a cool
Okay.
city.
Yeah.
Austin's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to Austin. This is my first time in San Antonio, and I went to Houston with Vinny. Me and Vinny saw WrestleMania in Houston.
25?
I
25,
ran through
right?
the Houston airport
Yeah, yeah.
yesterday.
You saw the best match of all time. Shawn Undertaker at 25.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was good. Yeah,
Does that do nothing for you?
yeah, it was cool. It was a cool moment.
That's the best wrestling match I've ever seen.
Sure, it's up there. What about? I mean, the full catalog of the Junkyard Dog. I mean, if we're really talking about
Good stuff. He had butted a lot of guys.
yeah.
I just realized who I'm surrounded by on this panel.
You're the only
The
non-wrestling
giant
guy.
Power Bombcast crew.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Drew,
Yeah.
we won't spoil the Royal Rumble for you on Sunday, so
right,
you can go
good.
to Austin. We won't spoil it.
Yeah. What do
Daniel,
you-
let's talk about F1.
No.
Pastor Maldonado.
Cars.
what do
One
you-
guy over here who did it. Yeah.
What do you get planned to get up to in Austin? What is there? What are you just?
I have
gonna
some
go-
family over there.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm just gonna
All
hang
right.
out.
Yeah.
I've heard it's cool. I've heard it's the San Francisco of the South, bro.
It's like Portland South.
Yeah.
So I've
Yeah.
only ever
Probably
been there.
vape quite a bit there.
I've only ever been there during South by Southwest, and the impression I got is that that city's fun during that whole thing, but it is probably a lot better when it is not that whole thing, right? Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it was great.
Right.
I went to some bars, I saw a whole bunch of different bands, it was a great time. Everyone seemed to be a total nightmare, but, the city itself was rad.
Just
Ate some-
roving bands of just like mushroom-laden fucking nut jobs
Yep.
driving around in a van.
Yep. Everybody is just high as hell. It is.
We got to get to the next showcase.
Yep.
But there's no cover anywhere. That's what I loved about Austin.
There's no cover?
No cover. Like, there's live bands at every bar. And
Like
it's
if
not
there was
just
artillery coming in, you would have no place to go?
Yeah, it's rough. But no cover. But
cover
actually,
charge. Okay.
Yes, no, that is what he was going for.
It has a decent mix of music. It's not just like mushroom hippie stuff. Like, there's some good blues and stuff there, and no cover anywhere. And everything's cheap. It's great.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like that'll just be slowly ruined as Austin continues to get its reputation as, a cool city.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that happens.
Wonder if I can buy a Bitcoin.
Yeah. Was that where they did that? The
Yeah.
Bitcoin vending machine?
Yeah.
Fucking
Seemed like a
goddamn it.
nightmare.
San Antonio seems cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a river.
There's a river?
You can walk along
and
it.
the Spurs.
Yeah. So it was
And
something.
PAX now.
Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
He's over there. Shawn, how's it going?
He's in the back. He's back there.
He's very shy. Don't.
Tune up the band.
Sorry.
I have to know here, San Antonio. Like, how many people are actually from San Antonio here? Okay, all right,
Yeah, all right.
good. Enough of you. So
Smattering.
we're like, where is the statue of David Robinson? Is there one? There is one, right? The Admiral. Like, right? There's got to be. Not yet. Okay. Basement of the Alamo. Okay, we'll go there and check it out.
Where does that joke come from? I've heard that. Like, don't ask if there's a basement. What? Everyone's yelling.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen that. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the joke there? Did he go to the basement?
They said there is. Spoilers. There's no basement in the Alamo.
But Pee Wee wanted to go to the basement?
So they send Pee Wee to the basement because he's looking for his fucking bike.
Right, I know that.
And it's like, oh, it's in the basement of the Alamo, and he gets there and there's no basement.
Oh, is that the big reveal at the end?
No, that's like Act 1, end of Act 1. No, the big reveal at the end is that he is a loner and a rebel.
Okay.
Jesus, Dan.
I was like fucking 8 the last time I saw that.
Jane Austen's Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah. I'm not familiar.
I don't actually know who Jane Austen is either. I saw Jane Austen's Mafia, the movie.
So the thing?
They actually renamed. They didn't actually call it that, but they were going to call it that. It was that Jay Moore movie.
Oh, the parody movie?
Yeah, it's a real piece of
From
shit.
like 97?
88.
Oh, okay.
88. I looked it up. 88.
Really?
Jane Austen had been coming up lately, so I was like, what the fuck was that Jane Austen thing with the movie where they put her name on it and that was funny? This is how I spend my time. Yeah, people want to know. Yeah, grocery haul videos and Wikipedia pages about Jay Moore films all the way down. That's
Jeff, just very briefly touch on what you brought to the 404ing It panel today. Tell me about this rabbit hole that you've been going down lately.
All right, everybody. All right.
Just a brief description.
If you want to line up, no, the people need to see this for themselves. I don't want to re-show it because that's you can go to past Tumblr and see this stuff. Just go to YouTube and type in grocery haul.
H-A-U-L.
H-A-U-L. And it's there's just a bunch of people out there for whatever reason. You know, everyone has their own reasons for coming to this, but it is like unboxings for your trip to the grocery store. So it's people that are literally just like removing things from bags, or oftentimes they have piled it all up on their counter so you can look at the majesty of the groceries they've purchased for their family.
There's a whole presentation to it.
And different people do it different ways.
Yeah.
But yes, it's oftentimes they take it all out of the bags and line it all up and then pan across it or pick up an item and go, well, we bought this minute rice and there's 2 bags of Fritos and bottles of other stuff. And then, you know, they get into weird stuff about their family along the way. One of the videos we showed was a woman that was talking about like, well, I bought all this vitamin D because I have a deficiency. And as of today, we don't have any health insurance because my husband's severance doesn't cover it anymore. It's just like this thing. You're just like, no, stop, God, why? And it is. That's you want to fuck reality television. Reality is where it's at. And that's the corner of YouTube that I'm currently like mining, just digging out whatever I can. Because there are people that are just like, yeah, some of them have families, so they're buying huge amounts, and some of them are alone but still buying huge amounts. And you're like, where does it go? Why? You're posting one of these every week. Like this is impossible that you're eating this much food. And they're justifying the bad things they buy, like this bag of pizza rolls is for my boyfriend. I don't touch this. But like,
there is no
but that
boyfriend.
gets said about every item that gets pulled out of the box to the point where you're like, well, what are you eating? Because everything here is you keep saying is not for you, and it is fascinating. It is one of those dark looks into real life that I cannot recommend enough.
So Jeff, will we see you start doing these down the road? Will Jeff Gersman's YouTube channel suddenly be filled up with your grocery trips?
My girlfriend doesn't want to do it. I asked.
I mean, she doesn't have to be in it.
Yeah, maybe get her to hold the camera or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Jeff, I assumed that this was a recent phenomenon, the way you've talked about it, but at one point when you introduced a clip, you said like, oh, well, she hasn't posted a new one in a couple years. So like, how long have you been watching these?
I'm new to the grocery haul game.
Okay.
But when you find people that are fascinating, you quickly dig through their entire channel and find yourself like all the way down that fucking rabbit hole.
It's like wrestling. There's a deep and rich history there that you have to sort of dig through.
I'm going to launch
I'm not familiar.
the WWE network for grocery haul videos. And just catalog this stuff properly and really just, like there needs to be someone preserving this like specific element of now culture.
They have pay-per-views.
Yeah, pay-per-view grocery hauls, you actually, you get some behind the scenes of them like building their list. Some people get into meal planning along the way too, where like then they're like, and here's the book, and tomorrow we're doing breakfast for dinner, which we like, but the kids hate it. To which I said, I wanted to and I don't comment on the YouTube videos, but right then and there, I damn near said, your fucking kids suck. the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you tell your kids you're making pancakes or bacon and eggs for dinner, they should be like, fucking yeah! Word! But like, that lady's kids suck.
Breakfast food isn't great for breakfast. I'll say that right now. Every time I've gone to McDonald's and they're serving breakfast, I've been angry. I like, pancakes are good, eggs are good, bacon's good, but nothing's better than like a quarter pounder and fries. Like, it's great, but nothing's better than real lunch and dinner food.
And it, like, what about like at 9:30 in the morning? You're like, give me a quarter pounder.
I want a pulled pork sandwich and fries.
I can't be mad at that.
Okay.
I can't be mad at that. But at the same time, I greatly appreciate the McDonald's breakfast menu.
It's okay.
Would
you take a
let's
hash?
hear it for McDonald's. Come on.
Yeah,
that's true.
Those guys need the help.
Yeah.
Those guys, they need it.
They're scrappy.
Yeah, they're struggling out there.
Would you take a hash brown over a large fry at McDonald's?
For breakfast?
At any point. The rest of your life, you can only have hash browns or McDonald's
I
fries.
really like hash browns.
They're good.
I love hash browns.
They are very good.
I like hash browns, but the McDonald's hash brown occasionally leaves something to be desired in that you can get it in its little limp in the middle. I like it hard. I like my potatoes fucking hard and fucking dry.
What are your thoughts on mashed potatoes?
Except for mashed potatoes. And then I like them,
All right.
when mashed potatoes come out of a box as flakes and then you mix in the water and go. If you're like, we're going to mash up these potatoes, it never works because they never get all the lumps out. Everyone says like, well, these aren't really lumpy. It's like, fuck you, they're lumpy as hell. Potato buds, it's a carton that magically turns into mashed potatoes.
Wait, I think we are on similar terms as far as not being able to make food. Like, you've made mashed potatoes? I've never done that.
Well, I've made potato...
I love mashed potatoes!
Never made mashed potatoes?
There's a fucking KFC 3 blocks down from my place. I'll go get my mashed potatoes from there.
I cook 3 times a year, if that, and I have made mashed potatoes more times than I can count.
To be fair, KFC mashed potatoes are tremendous.
Yes, they are.
Like,
And their
there's
macaroni and
no-
cheese. They got
yeah.
good macaroni and cheese.
I'm in no way trying to disparage KFC mashed potatoes.
I can't make mashed potatoes that good. Even
But
if
you
you
have
give me
made
the
them.
carton of potato buds and say stir this into whatever magic
That's like
chemical.
saying you don't want to paint because you'll never beat Michelangelo. Like, of course you won't make them
But the
as
thing
good
is,
as
you
the
gotta-
KFC mashed potatoes.
But you gotta...
Yeah. So, in cases, if I was 3 blocks away from a KFC, which I'm not, but not that far really. I don't make mashed potatoes because if I craved mashed potatoes, I would turn to the, people they're professionals.
Yes. KFC. The Colonel.
Yeah, the Colonel.
Yeah.
The
You
Colonel's
gotta do
cracker
dishes and
ass.
shit. Like, I don't know why anybody ever makes any food.
See, Alex,
I'll make a peanut butter sandwich, but
I live on the East Coast. I don't get
Right,
this
you
on a
don't get-
regular
yeah.
basis, so you'll have to excuse me if this is
It's
coming
too
at
much.
me in waves. It's
Yeah.
a lot. It's
I
a lot to
understand.
take in.
it's okay.
it's like anything KFC does is a million times better than anything any of us or any of you would do. I said it, any of you. I don't care if fucking Emerald's out there.
Just inciting people.
Dan,
Yeah.
we still have like a half an hour. Don't go
Okay,
full
sorry.
heel yet.
I can't turn
Not
heel yet?
Not
Okay.
yet.
All right.
Dan Reichert is the Rick Rude of fast food.
Let me show you my airbrushed pants.
Yeah.
It literally is just mashed potatoes airbrushed onto your tights.
Yeah, but I disagree. I think that as much as I do have some affinity for the Colonel's chicken, it's kind of terrible.
What?
And I will eat it once every 18 months or so. But
Do you get the strips or do you get the like bone-in stuff?
I actually don't like their strips that much. I like the original recipe chicken.
Dan,
Pretty
we
good
do,
rest.
not, we do not want to go into bone versus boneless right now.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
Boneless wings. Boneless. The fuck has time for?
Fucking gotta wash your hands 14 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy
you know
knows.
what's good? Chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
When you get wings that have a bone in them, and I feel the same way about ribs most of the time.
What are your thoughts on the
the energy you expend?
How do you get boneless ribs?
McRib?
The McRib.
That's not
It's
even ribs.
The fucking McRib.
That's like cardboard and barbecue
Yeah,
sauce.
you're right. There is no great substitute for ribs, so I just don't eat ribs. The amount of energy you expend to consume the food is not worth the amount of food on the wing. It is, you're sticking your tongue around the bone and you're sucking on bones and like you're a mess and your face is like a fucking disaster. If I get some boneless wings, it's just some breast meat and buffalo sauce. Give me a goddamn fork and I just eat them and then it's just baseball is on.
Hang on. Jeff, I want to make sure you don't actively dislike bone-in wings, do you? Because, like, you know, as a leader,
I can and will eat them.
they're great. They're great. And I'm the leader of Team Boneless saying this.
When
I'm on your team, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
When I order food from the local wings establishment, and I order boneless wings, and they fuck up and send wings with bones in them, I still eat the wings.
And they're good.
As you should.
They're all right. They're just but at the end, I'm like, you know, I'm still hungry because there just wasn't enough meat on these bones.
Have you ever been to a Buffalo Wild Wings? Because in my
No.
6 months of being in California, I've seen one, and it's kind of fucking far away.
No, I've never seen. There's a wing stop near me, but I've never been to that either. I don't.
Is there a wing spot near you?
No. Wing spot. We don't talk about wing spot anymore after what they did.
You can subscribe to Wing Informer there. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, as much as people shit on chain restaurants, Buffalo Wild Wings is a fantastic place to get wings. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll take that. It's really good.
Okay.
They have one down in like Daly City. I would go down there sometime. It's really good. Honey barbecue is incredible.
Okay. All right. There's your wings recommendation.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are any places
So if
to get wings
if anyone
around
here in Texas is ever in Daly City, California, I guess go to what is Buffalo Wild Wings.
They have them everywhere.
When
They
in
don't have to go to
Daly City,
this Daly City fucking staple. No, it's everywhere.
The very first game convention I ever went to was E3 2006. I was in school, and the night before I had an outing with some friends where we had all-you-can-eat spicy wings at a Hooters. That first half of E3 was rough. Let's say.
Yeah. Because the bathrooms at E3 are not good.
No.
Quite bad, in fact.
That reminds me, I had a moment at PAX East probably about 3 years ago, well before I worked with you guys, and we got Chinese food around like 3 in the morning. I actually think all three of you guys were there.
Yeah.
And it was us and Adam Boys and just a bunch of folks. And I was eating Chinese food, and I was already kind of drunk. And at one point, I put something in my mouth and immediately knew something was wrong. And I looked at the guy sitting next to me, and he was like, "You didn't eat that pepper, did you?" And I was just staring at him like, "Wait, what did I do? Like, I don't know what this is." And the waiter was filling up the water and stuff, and he's like, "Wait, you didn't eat the pepper, did you?" I was like, I think I did. And then it all came on in this fucking wave to where, like, I've eaten a lot of spicy food, but I don't know if you guys remember, I spent the rest of the night in the bathroom, literally with my, like, mouth underneath a cold water faucet. And the whole next day, I had appointments, like, you know, for Game Informer, and, like, I had to meet people and interview people and everything. And there's no way to say this without being explicit. I was just shitting my brains out every fucking 15 minutes. And almost missed every appointment I had that day because I was in the fucking bathroom in Boston.
Well, thanks.
So don't
Boston.
eat the pepper. Yeah. Why do I get applause for that? I don't know why that's applause worthy, but yeah.
Let's hear
I shit a lot.
stories, huh? Yeah.
They're proud of you, Dan.
Yeah, well, you know, work hard.
Well, now that we've gone in that direction,
Go for it.
Let's stay there. All right. Let's talk about this videotape I have. No, Nothing. Yeah, so you know it's early in the year still, so we're in the process of getting things underway around the office and you know getting all set up. You know, Vinny is still back in New York right now, like staring at a mess of cables and just going like, why? Right? Is that the general?
He's waiting for doors?
yeah, so we have a studio now. I know a lot of people have been asking what's going on with the Beasts studio situation. It's very close. They installed the window last week between the control room and the actual studio, but we have no doors.
Oh, you've got one of those?
Yeah.
do you have a guy? I guess it's Vinny that's like
Yeah, Vinny's the guy.
in there like.
I mean, we
All
could
right, let's do
probably
another
get,
take.
Like, we could probably just like get like CNET's Jeff Bacala or something to fill that if we just want to have a guy just to feel really important or something. But yeah, but we have no doors. And every time we ask about the doors, they're like, yeah, we're figuring out the doors.
This feels like a shitty Sims house where you forgot to put a door in and they
Yeah.
just die in there.
Well, no, but it's like there's a frame. Like, you can walk into it. It's not like you're
Oh,
we're
okay.
sealed up in there,
Okay.
you know.
Like air gets in and
This
out.
isn't an Edgar
There are
Allan Poe
fireworks
story.
in there,
Like, we're
are
not
there?
going to die in there, but I don't. The part I don't understand is I don't know what they're trying to figure out. We just need doors. I'm sure there's a reason and there's a whole thing, but they haven't explained it to me, and so I'm just very confused about the door situation, I guess.
I don't think you need doors. We have no doors. We just have open air.
Yeah.
There were cubicles where our studio was, and
Our office is not like your office.
Your office is loud.
It's loud, and there are a lot of people who do like sales and marketing jobs there, and it's not the chaos of the third floor on the San Francisco office that you guys experience. It would not go over well if they could
I
hear us
see.
doing our stuff on a regular basis.
Got it.
Apparently through the air ducts, the people in the podcast studio can hear anything we say in that room. So if
I bet
anyone
that
is-
was fun to figure out.
Yeah. So originally there was no like open air duct in that room, and it got like 1,000,000 degrees in there, so they had to like cut a hole in the air duct, and now you can hear every conversation we're having in our studio in the podcast studio. Great.
that's exactly what you want in a podcast studio.
Yep.
Is like an audio situation where like, oh, we can hear everything from another room. Yeah,
They just throw more baffling at it. I'm sure that'll fix it.
totally. Just
Yeah.
put like foam somewhere. I don't know.
Phone fixes everything.
But you guys are close. And once you guys get up and running, then we'll be able to expand
Yes.
do more video.
Yes.
Yeah,
More of
that's
everything.
kind of like goal number one for us is more. You know, get everything kind of up and running with their stuff, and then we'll be able to kind of ping pong back and forth between what's coming out of both places and kind of being smart about like what we want to do with news from here. We're looking for someone in New York right now, kind of going over a lot of resumes and looking at that stuff.
You can come work with me.
I don't recommend it.
You will be so depressed inside of 6 months. It'll be amazing.
Yeah. Don't commute with him, especially if you can help it. Jeez. God, what a nightmare. Swear to God. What a piece of shit.
There it was. All right.
No, I'm not done yet. Seriously, fuck him. God. No, yeah, that's been the goal, and kind of we're kind of kicking off the year and looking at what we want to do, and it's getting into like, okay, well, like let's bring back the big live show and kind of do that, and so we're looking at doing that sooner rather than later, but we haven't started planning yet, so not actually that soon. But yeah, like those are the sorts of things we want to get into, and then it's crazy like being at PAX and thinking like, oh, we got to get ready for PAX because Boston is like the beginning of March. So for us, it's like, okay, we got to like, if we're gonna do anything there, we got to start getting ready on that. And it's crazy how hectic the start of the year can actually be between kind of planning out where we go from here and kind of the stuff that's in place for us to already kind of do. But that's been the balancing act so far, is kind of like spending a lot of time planning and spending a lot of time to kind of just get stuff done. But it looks like we've got like a good cable winding technique now. So that's.
The internet had a lot to say about that technique.
I definitely looked at it and went like, you're going to destroy some cables with that, and I'm not even a professional cablist.
Yeah. We don't do that for every cable, okay?
Okay, all right.
Chill out.
Just the cables we don't care about if they break. Is that the cables you want to break?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we've got our studio space, and we're kind of looking around and going like, well, for us, it's with the podcast has been a big thing. People seem to enjoy the podcast. Yeah. So then for us, it's like, well, what do we want to do from here with that sort of stuff? And it's like, well, it's not necessarily like let's change the podcast. It's like let's do more with podcasts. So that's kind of like, when the East Coast stuff gets rolling, we want to do a podcast out of the East Coast office. And then figure out if there's some back and forth we can do between those, or if there's a different kind of back and forth thing. And then looking at, just kind of the way we cover games at events and stuff like that. Like this event, it's like we're not going around, like I'm not like going out and seeing games and then getting back and I've got to write up a preview and stuff like that. But like, maybe there's something to be said for like something interview dump truckish, where we're talking to each other about games that we saw and kind of put that up in sort of a separate feed and stuff like that. So it's with the podcast being something that like the data would indicate that people enjoy it. So we're thinking about like what are ways to kind of build around that while also kind of shoring up video and doing kind of more stuff on that front. So yeah, I've been spending like the last 2 months going over like actual like, okay, here's the plan. And speccing all that stuff out, and we're getting there. So
you made a PowerPoint at one point.
Yeah, so I've been doing this for like 20 years now. The first PowerPoint I ever had to touch was like three weeks ago. Yeah. It was a good run. It was a good run. I feel pretty good about it.
You did pretty well. It was a good presentation.
Well, so okay, thank you. But the slides in that, you should see the slides as I submitted them, not how they came out the other end. After someone went, this looks like shit. I'm going to make it not look like shit. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you do that, because I don't know.
Well, you were very good at saying, and slide.
Yeah.
Your presentation was good.
Okay, all right. As it turns out, I can occasionally get up in front of people and say stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Let's see. We've got a little bit of time here. On a Sunday at 2, I'm going to be in here. Again, we'll be doing, kind of a more question-focused thing here. But if anyone has any questions they want to get off here while we've got a little bit of time, we do have microphones. So if anybody wants to line up, we'll take a couple of them here at the end. If anyone.
Also, in here tomorrow at 2, these two characters, Andy and Danny, will be conceiving of, producing, and editing a GameSpot video in an hour.
We'll see.
So if you want to see how the guts of the machine work.
Seems a little iffy.
Good luck, fellas.
Yeah, good luck on that one. I don't know if the internet in here is even fast enough for you to upload that thing. But yeah, best of luck on that. That sounds like it'll be fun. They're making drink motions.
This is good.
Around. All right.
Drinky.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. So let's kick off some questions here. Sure. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Microphone test. So I really like independent games, especially the smaller, weirder kind of stuff. And so the content that I like that you guys, as the website did, was sort of Patrick's weekly roundup of independent games. Now that presumably he won't be doing that anymore, is that sort of coverage something that you guys want to put more in your wheelhouse, or does that seem like something else?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one of those things where it kind of fell to him, but a lot of us play that same stuff. We end up playing a variety of things just for the podcast here and there when we can, and I don't. It probably won't take the same form. Like we're not going to do. We're not going to do a worth reading equivalent or anything like that. But certainly. We're producing content on games big and small, and we'll kind of continue to do that as we go.
I've recently fallen down an itch.io hole real bad. Like that is a cool site. A lot of really amazing games. Play Lost Constellation. Go on and play that Drift Stage demo is pretty rad. Check that stuff out.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
I forgot my name and subject title on this question conveniently for you guys, but how do you see your gaming habits and tastes and things like that changing as you get older? You guys have been playing games for a long time. Do you anticipate changes in preferences and how often, what types of games?
I think one of the main things is I remember being in high school and I'd read a review of Devil May Cry and it would say this is a long, this is 20, 25 hours or whatever, you can really, get some great time out of this. And being okay, yeah, I feel fine spending my 50 or 60 bucks on that. And now, shorter games, when people, complain about, the Call of Duty campaign or God of War campaign is 5 or 6 hours, it's all right, that sounds more reasonable.
That sounds correct.
Yeah. So just shorter games have more appeal now.
Yeah, like last year, my favorite game was Jazz Punk, which is like 3 hours long and ridiculous, and that was exactly the length that game needed to be. If it had gone on any longer, it would have completely ruined the joke. And I have a greater appreciation for games that are able to do what they need to do in a fairly short amount of time than I did when I was younger.
Yeah, I think games have changed a lot. You know, like the expectations that they demand of the people that play them and that sort of stuff. Like, you know, they're asking people to specialize. You know, when you look at something like Dota, when you look at, you know, those types of MOBAs, when you look at the potential range of skills in like a competitive shooter and stuff like that, you know, the people that dedicate themselves to those things will find themselves in a situation where they might not be able to play that much else. Because they have to stay so focused on that, and that's, you know, for me, like that's not a trap I want to get into, and you know, like I don't want to be the best at anything because I don't have time, and I don't want to maintain like the last game that I can sit there and go like, well, I'm probably the best at this game was like NFL Blitz '99, and you know, that was only because we had an arcade machine in the office, and at the end of every day we would play anywhere between 3 and 10 games of it. And now, you know, these days, just for, you know, for coverage purposes and just the nature of what we do, like I have to jump from game to game to game, and don't really get a chance to get good at anything. So, like, if anything, I've kind of changed to where, like, I've optimized in a way where it's like I can get pretty okay at something really quickly. And see what it is and get what I want to get out of it. But then at that point, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to hit a skill ceiling that, you know, someone who really dedicates themselves to it's going to easily surpass. But that's fine because I've already moved on to the next game. And that's just between the nature of the job and just kind of how I've always played games. It's just sort of how it makes sense. It's just the games have changed a little bit, I think. Yeah.
Great.
Cool. Yes.
Yeah, on the drive here, my first paid video games writing article went live on Paste.
Oh,
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$9.
Huh?
All $9, right?
Yeah. Actually, it paid for all the gas on the way here,
Oh,
which
great.
is crazy.
Outstanding.
Yeah, you guys are much nicer than the comment section, by the way. But do you guys ever look back at like the beginning of your careers, either in writing for U3 or Drew for production? Do you ever look back and just think, what the fuck was I thinking? Yeah, I know, yeah.
That would require me to actually look at my old work, which I refuse to do now.
Yeah, well, my old work is like 10 hours now, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's for me, it's less of a what the fuck was I thinking and like a how the fuck did this happen?
Yeah, that's happening too.
It's like how did we end up here? You know,
Yeah.
from that because you know when I worked for a print magazine for a little while and then you know like print magazines like who works for a fucking print magazine?
Glossy pages, ugh.
Yeah, right. Like it's crazy. Yeah, so for me, it was that transition of just like, you know, there being almost no video on the internet to now, like, primarily, you know, we're doing video and primarily it's not just gameplay clips, it's us talking, it's us doing, like, the range of skills required has ramped up and changed in a really weird way. So that's, but yes, there are certainly, like, reviews I wrote in '96 that you can still find on GameSpot that I go back and read and go, like, I don't even remember if I even played this game. Because they wanted 100 reviews by launch day, and the whole thing was a blur. I came out in October, and it was like 2 months, and they had like 20 reviews at that point. It's like, all right, we need to have 80 reviews in 2 months. I'm like, that's not okay. Well, let's go. So yeah, there's a lot of real bad shit in some of my early work. So yeah, don't worry about it. That's just your first article.
Yeah.
I've gone back and looked at some old videos that I've made and gone like, whew, just cringe. Even videos that like I remember being like super proud of. But like that's in one hand it's hard, but like on the other hand it's really heartening because it means that you've gotten better. And I appreciate being able to do that. So.
Yeah, I'm in production as well. That's what I ended up going to school for. So. It's good to hear that
Fantastic.
perspective as well. Yeah.
Thank
you.
At some point, you stop putting corn over all of your like corn songs over all your.
I mean, I don't know if you
videos.
remember those early Giant Bomb videos.
Yeah, and it was just like corn and Counter-Strike all day long. Linkin Park and Dragon Ball Z mashups. And it was like, this isn't even a video game. It's like, I don't care. This is my soul. All right, Drew. Yes, sir.
Hi. I mostly had a question for Dan. have you ever cooked anything that did not involve Totino's pizza rolls or eggshells? And if not, would you film yourself trying to do that?
Do you really want him to handle
Yes.
fire and a camera at the same time?
Yes. Who doesn't?
there.
And alcohol.
I hate that my honest answer is actually really boring, and that I actually have cooked like several, like I'll look at cookbooks or cooking websites or whatever, and make like things that turned out all right, and I didn't get sick, and it tasted pretty good. Yeah, but those stories are true, like the eggshell thing and everything. Like that's a true story. I'm probably better than I make it sound on the Bombcast, but I'm not great by any means. But no, I made a nice like quinoa salad thing the other day, and that was good.
I can't believe you pronounced that correctly.
I used to think, when I first heard of it, I thought it was quinoa or something.
Yeah, that's definitely what I called it.
But it tastes really good. and it's supposed to
Quinoa's
be
not
healthier.
bad.
Quinoa's really good, actually.
It's actually the
Who are you people?
like the
We'll
dark
make you
thing
cultured.
Yeah, like quinoa's all right. You get a little chia seed, mix it into some yogurt.
Kale chips are pretty tasty.
Yeah, kale chips. You make your own really easily.
Yeah.
You just dry them out, and you make them yourself. You can salt them appropriately.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Which, when you buy them, it's just crazy.
you eat yogurt now?
Yogurt's been fantastic forever.
No.
It's just
Especially if you put in like chocolate chips,
sure.
cinnamon.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that fucks me up about yogurt is that I heard it has something to do with bacteria. And when I heard that,
Dan, there's bacteria in everything. There's bacteria in that big hunk right now.
I haven't bitten into it yet. No, that sounds super fucking gross, and that's why I don't like yogurt, is just hearing that bacteria is involved.
I mean, beer is made with yeast, which is
I don't know what that is.
alive.
Wait, I'm drinking living things when I drink beer? That doesn't sound true at all.
The yeast eat the sugar, and they poop out the beer.
That's literally accurate. That is actually true.
I hate to be the
drinking
bearer
yeast
of
poop.
science.
I mean, it gets me drunk.
Yeah, it does.
I like
When you say
multi-grain
alive is so much different. Like, if it's a fucking spider, that's super gross. But technically alive, like a tree is fucking,
Yes,
that's
you're right.
alive.
Eating a spider is gross. You're correct.
Yeah,
about
I
that.
don't like eating spiders.
Don't eat spiders.
Yeast.
That's fine.
Like, show me a picture of yeast. Like, does that exist, or is it like a microscopic, some weird
They're
bullshit?
real tiny. They're real
Okay.
tiny.
Well, I can't
It's
see
like,
it. It's
when
not
you look
real.
at yogurt, it's not like it's fucking crawling at you.
Yeah. Like it's not screaming when you eat it, for God's sakes.
It's not like PETA for yogurt. Like, we have to stop eating the yogurt. Think of the fucking yogurt.
Yogurt rights.
I just picture like amoeba and stuff when they say that like there's bacteria in yogurt. That sounds super fucking gross, and I honestly don't know if I've ever eaten yogurt. Well, like frozen yogurt, like McDonald's ice cream. They say it's like, oh, it's frozen yogurt, but it just seems like ice cream.
You're not wrong.
I mean, ice cream is made with like milk, which is like comes out of a cow's boobs, and then like it has,
Doesn't cheese too? Like cheese does, and cheese is like
directly out of the cow's
Yeah.
boobs.
cheese is literally the best thing.
if you
in
really
the
want to
world.
start to break down like where our food comes from, it's a fucking dark road.
As long as it tastes good, I don't give a shit.
All right, then yeah, fine. Then yogurt's totally cool, man.
Bacteria. I don't want to get sick.
Did you ever read Fast Food Nation?
Do I ever eat what?
Fast Food Nation?
Fast Food Nation?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
You should check out that book.
It's a book? Is there a movie?
It's a book.
There wasn't.
There is a movie.
There's pretty much
Okay,
a movie.
all right.
Yeah.
I'll watch the movie if it's short.
You read the book. It's interesting.
If it's like a 60-minute movie, I'll watch it.
Okay.
It's a docudrama.
You write books.
I don't like
Have
reading
you read
them.
his books? They're the equivalent of like a 60-minute movie.
That's fair enough, yeah.
I bought the books and didn't read them. Yes.
Howdy, y'all.
Hello.
Hi.
So, I was wondering, Drew, have you managed to see Elite Dangerous with the Oculus Rift yet?
Not yet.
It's awesome. And also, with the Microsoft HoloLens announcement this week, I'm wondering, like, this VR stuff, is this year's, like, 4K Curved TV bullshit, or is this here to stay? Is this going to change the game? What do you guys think?
It's not VR. It's holograms. We're doing holograms.
It's not
now.
even holograms. It's like like
AR.
augmented reality.
Yeah.
So,
But holograms sound so much cooler.
Yeah, no hologram. If it was like Sega, Time Traveler or Holosseum, like the fighting game, then we'd be in business. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think that stuff has a ton of potential, and it sounds like there's a lot of really rad stuff that could come out of all that stuff. I just don't know if this is the year. I don't even know if we'll see commercial versions of some of that stuff this year.
I am glad that Oculus is not going commercial until it's ready and good. Yeah. I think that's a really cool and heartening thing to see.
But I mean, let's find out. John Drake, is the Morpheus coming out this year? Oh, he's on his phone. All right, yeah. Just ask whoever you need to ask on your phone, and then yeah.
Yo, I played that shit with the dragon. It was pretty dope.
Right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, it was all right.
Is the HoloLens coming out this year? Okay, all right. He played it. It's pretty great. That's not a release date, but all right.
I don't see the VR stuff as a gimmick to where like I'm very wary of things that seem like a gimmick. So like, when Avatar got big and everything at E3 was all, 3D TVs, Sony made a big push for it and it fucking sucked. Like, I went to all those appointments and you put on the dumb glasses and it fucking sucks. But Oculus and VR, like it is at that point to where it feels like a legit real thing. And like you can show it to people that don't play video games and they're blown away by it. Like, I have complete faith in VR as being a huge part of the future of video games.
I think that could be huge.
The thing is, when you say we show it to people who don't play video games and they're blown away by it, like you're describing the Wii also, like exactly.
But that was huge.
Totally. I mean, yes, it could be huge, but it could be a huge like fad-like gimmick for a chunk of time, or something like that.
I think
like,
this is more.
I think so too. But it's hard to, I still think it's a hard sell to be like, hey, strap all this shit in and let the rest of your world disappear for hours on end.
But it's one of the first things.
Turn off the ringer on your phone and, tell your kids to shut the fuck up.
I did play like 3 hours of Half-Life 2 with the Oculus on and immediately was like vomiting right afterwards. But like they will get that technology down and everything, and that can be a thing that you can show people that don't know video games or don't care about them, and they'll be like, holy shit, it was like I was really in that place, and we're at that point where it works. Like I'm completely behind that.
Yeah, I hope it works out. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I've been spending, after watching all the Game of the Year stuff, which was great, by the way. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I was out of videos to watch. I'd seen them all. I was kind of caught up. So I got into Giant Bomb maybe about a year and a half ago. So I decided to make use of my subscriber, and go back to the beginning and start watching all the old stuff. And I've never seen a Whiskey Media Happy Hour. I've now seen all of those.
Oh, wow.
And just doing it while I'm playing other stuff. And going back to when Giant Bomb was created, and I have a question that I'm going to put to everyone here, and probably most especially you, Jeff. Is Kane and Lynch 2 the most important video game ever released?
Kane and Lynch 2, no. 1, it's up there. But I don't know. 2 was interesting. You're holding up your sign there. Is it sometimes? Okay, actual time. Okay, all right, great.
Got it.
It's Kane and Lynch 2 is kind of like the visual effects in that were pretty awesome. It's a shame that game wasn't better. But I don't know. The people that made Kane and Lynch 1, they know what they did.
Are they still making that movie?
Was it Kane and Lynch 1?
Yeah,
that was the one.
Yeah,
Okay,
I talked to them afterwards, and they were like, "Yeah, the game was no good." I said, "Yeah, I know." So yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. That is going to be time for us. Yeah. 2 o'clock tomorrow. They'll be in here editing a video. I think it's 2 o'clock on Sunday. I'll be back in here doing whatever it is I'm doing. Still got to figure that out. And yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks these guys.
Enjoy your PAX.